Did you miss me? Oh, I missed you. Oh, you're a sexy, sexy girl. So, the Pioneer. The Pioneer is about to ride again. This is one of my favorite snare drums. You can actually see it in my like 4 essential snare drums video that I all purchased for $100 or under. This particular drum, I'm not exactly sure of the year. I actually believe this is a 1960, and for a couple reasons I'm going to explain why. Ludwig introduced the Pioneer in 1960 as an affordable student alternative, I guess, to the Jazz Fest. The main difference between the Jazz Festival and the Pioneer, basically just the number of lugs. A Pioneer has 6 lugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if you can see them here. I'll count that out. I'm in my kitchen and I got my phone on a tripod, so it's a little awkward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas the Pioneer or the Jazz Festival has 8. Other than that, they're pretty much the same drum. This guy was out of commission for a little while due to a malfunctioning throw-off, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit. And that's actually very unique to this drum. So I purchased this from a gentleman who's kind of a local collector, and he had a lot of drums up, and he had this drum up on Craigslist for $100. He had it up for $100, and I immediately jumped on it. I called him up. I said, "You still have the drum?" He says, "Yeah, I still have it." I said, "Don't sell it. I can't pick it up till tomorrow. I'll give you some extra money." And so he actually did hold on to the drum for me. And actually the finish on this drum is white marine pearl. And for a drum that is as old as this sucker is, I mean, what is it, 50? I mean, it's at least 55 years old, 54, 55 years old at the newest. I mean, the finish on this drum is actually in incredible shape. I mean, you look, there's hardly any yellowing of the finish from here to here. I mean, there is a tiny bit, but from here to here. I mean, the drum's 50 plus years old. And what do you expect? I mean, I'm 40 plus years old and I got some yellowing going on, so. All right, so this guy right here, I'm going to tell you why I'm dating this to possibly 1960, which would be the first year production of the Pioneer, or perhaps 61. There's no date stamp on the inside. It might have been there at one point, but it is has since long disappeared. You can see here, there we go, where is it? So it says JR right there. So somebody put their initials on the inside, but other than that, I mean, there's nothing on the inside that would indicate a date. Here's why I think it is a 60 or a 61. It's because of this particular throw off right here. Now notice it has the short arm, whereas this one has the long arm. This throw off just wore out. It just wore out. There are these little, I don't know what you call them. I guess it's kind of like a pin right here that slips on, and it came off this right here. So I would engage the throw off, and then eventually this would slip off, and and of course the snares would come loose. So I had looked around for quite a while to find one of these throw offs, and you couldn't find one. I mean, I searched high and low on eBay, on Reverb. I had asked people on various vintage drum forums and everything, and nobody had one. The reason why, as far as I could tell, going from my research, is Ludwig only put this on the Pioneer for 1 or 2 years. They then switched to this P83. So they're both P83, so they're both the same kind of throw off. But they switched to this P83 here with the longer arm, which has actually the same engagement arm as the current, or is the newer P85 that was on Ludwig's snare drums forever. And this is actually, I don't know why Ludwig ever went away from this throw off. It's a superior throw off to the P85. I've had lots of drums. I've had lots of snare drums with P85s on them, and this, the 83 is a far superior throw off. It's a lot smoother and engages a lot better. I don't know why Ludwig ever got rid of it. I guess maybe looks. I don't know. But this pin right here, I don't know if you can see that, is what's missing here. So I could have easily taken a match, and it would work. I actually tried it out. It would work on this throw off, this little pin guy right here. I guess it's a pin. I don't know what you'd really call it. But I decided, due to the rarity of this throw off, I'm going to leave it off. I'm going to leave it off the drum because I play all my vintage drums. My vintage drums don't sit in a collection in a case on a shelf or display in a in display. I play all my vintage drums. So rather than put this back together and use it, I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to continue to use this throw off until, if I ever decide to sell the drum, I'll put the original back on. Another reason why I think it's a 60 or a 61 is if you look here, there's no serial number on that badge. So this is a pre-serial number snare, and I think it was 63. They went to serial numbers. Somebody that knows more than I do can verify that. So I got a new head. What did I do with the head? I actually didn't buy a head. It's just one I had laying around. But it's brand new. It's a brand new Evans G2. Ideally, I'd probably rather put a Remo Ambassador on this thing. But it's what I got lying around. I'm not necessarily going to buy a new head, and it'll sound fine with this head on it. And then I've got some Puresound wires right here. So I'm going to throw these guys on, and I'll get it put together, get it tuned up, take it downstairs, and we'll do a sound sample on it. You guys can hear what it sounds like. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, in a perfect world, I would have a lav mic. This is not a perfect world. And also in a perfect world, my furnace wouldn't be running. But you'll get the idea. So I got this thing tuned up, and I'm not going to lie, I had a bitch of a time getting it to sound good. And it had always been one of my favorite snares up until the throw-off crapped out on me. So I have a theory on why I had such a hard time. Now, I have a couple theories. Theory one is that this drum just doesn't like Evans G2s, which is actually a very strong possibility. It might be too heavy of a head for this drum. But I'm going to go with a different theory, and this is what I actually think it more than likely is. I have 24 Strand sound blasters, pure sound blasters on this thing. And I actually think they are too wide for the snare beds. I just think they're too wide, and I think it was choking the drum, or it's getting some weird harmonic things going on. And I really, really, really had a hard time tuning it out. I mean, I spent a lot of time on it. And it does have an old snare side head on it. But I really, truly don't think that's the problem. I think more than likely it is the 24 strand wires just being too wide for the snare bed of the drum. So let's take a listen here, and we'll see what it sounds like. I'm going to set this down here. Now you can see I've got it tuned to like a medium tension. And actually, this head is tighter than I think you would expect to get a drum to this pitch. And I think a lot of it is it's the really thick head, and a combination of the thick head and just I don't know. It's a little weird. I'm gonna do a couple things here. I'm gonna pull the moon gel off so you can hear kind of what those overtones are doing. I'm hoping it comes through this mic clear. So here's without the moon gel. It's got that, hear that high ring? It's almost like a harmonic. I couldn't tune it out. I mean, I tried, man. I spent a good hour futzing with this drum. And I could not get that tuned out. I got it better. It was worse before. It was way worse. But it's got that weird harmonic ring to it. Now, if I take the moon gel and I put it more towards the center of the drum, so I'm about right here, I'm approximately 3 inches from the hoop. Drum is way too dead. It's way too dead. Some guys may like it. I hate that. I think drums should ring. And this is a nice thin-shelled snare drum, so it should really sing. Now, if I take the moon gel, and by the way, the moon gel's really small. It's only, maybe a 1/2 inch by 3/4. I very rarely use entire pieces of moon gel. I just usually cut up existing one, or usually cut mine up into thirds and use them. That's a little better right there. So that's the moon gel right on the rim of the drum. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you like this video, and don't forget to get that notification bell because I got lots of videos coming out all the time. I'll talk to you guys next time.